The closest you're going to get to a guarantee, and there's a couple of different ways. So the number one way is tax liens, and the reason that's the number one way is because it actually is guaranteed. If you don't get the property, you get your money back with interest. If I were to ask you what's the best and fastest way to get rich, what would you tell me? Okay, whatever came to your mind first, you're wrong. Let me tell you, the fastest way to get rich is to set up a system that pays you into perpetuity, right? And then write laws around it so that everybody has to abide by those laws, and give them slim margins so that they think that they own the system that you built so that they never own. Yeah, do that. Right? So let me explain real estate to you. There's only a few ways that you actually win guaranteed, I would say, the closest you're going to get to a guarantee, and there's a couple of different ways. So the number one way is tax liens, and the reason that's the number one way is because it actually is guaranteed. If you don't get the property, you get your money back with interest. So in Indiana, I teach Indiana. Why do I teach Indiana? Because it has the lowest barrier entry. There's a tax sale that's actually going to be happening soon. It's too late for registration, but there's other auctions in Indiana that you can test and see how it goes and things like that while you wait on the next auction. But it has a $500 entry fee. And that's pretty low. There are some places where you can get land for $100 in land banks and things like that, but let's just stick with Indiana. So Gary has one of the lowest barrier entry, and it's close to Canada. I don't know if you knew that. Like, I think an 8-hour drive from Canada. Like, I put it this way, it takes me longer to get to Atlanta from Texas, from Houston. So, and if you don't get the property with those, and it's close to Chicago, by the way, but if you don't get the property with tax liens, again, you get your money back with interest, and that interest can range anywhere between 10% to 20%, and it's guaranteed. Like, it's guaranteed. Like, there's no, there's a teeny tiny small percentage of things that could go wrong, but I teach you in my course how to avoid those things. So I want to say 100%, but I just don't want to say 100%, but I want to say 100%, 99.99999%, you're going to get your money. If you don't get your money, you're going to get your property. So let's say you had a lump sum of money, a couple $100,000, and you had a 10-year plan. I'm going to map this out for you. So every year you invest in the auctions because you're going to get a 10% return on your money, guaranteed, or even 20. So let's say let's just stick with 10. So every year 10%. So the first year you get one, you get 110 back. You get $10,000 back, and then the next year you get a little bit more. You get 12,000 back, and it keeps going up and up and up and up. Next thing you know, 10 years later, you have well over $100,000. Right? Well over $100,000 because your investment kept going up and up and up. And if you keep reinvesting money that you're getting now, and then you play the game twice a year, the auctions are twice a year. You have your spring auction, and then you have your fall auction. So if you plan in the spring auction, get your money. Plan in the fall auction, and you going back and forth, then that means every 6 to 12 months, you getting money. Guaranteed. Boom, 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 boom. Or you getting property that you could sell, like my clients did. One of my clients got a property, spent $3,500 on it, about 36 on property, made $100,000. She ended up with a commercial property. Another one of my clients spent $500. He ended up selling that property for $35,000. I have bought multiple properties. One of my properties I sold for almost 20, and I bought it for 500. So those are the type of opportunities that you can find, and they are not rare. And in fact, in this last auction, I think that there was 9,000 properties on the list, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me. It might have been 7,000, thousands, right, on the list. And I think there were only 110 people that signed up for the auction. So that's one way that you can make money guaranteed when you're in the real estate game. The other way that you can make money guaranteed in the real estate game is to be a homeowner and have a smart way of being able to manage your property. Like, you can't even guarantee that you're going to make money on your property if you have an investment property. What if somebody set your investment property on fire? Or what if, your tenants ain't paying? Like, investment property ain't a guarantee. I'm talking about a guarantee. The other way for you to be guaranteed, for you to make money on your property, is if you're a homeowner and you know a strategic way to invest in your own property so that you get the returns on that property that you actually want. And you can control that because, again, remember I told you there's no such thing as home ownership. There's only you being able to control the asset for a period of time. So when you become a homeowner, is what they want to call you, but you're really a person who they allow to control the asset for a period of time. And you know that because if you wanted to build, a mall on your property, you couldn't because you got to go ask somebody permission. Since when do you own something you got to go ask somebody permission? Because you never do. Right? But you do control the rights to that asset for a period of time in order for you to make money off of it. And if you understand the strategic ways, then you can do that. If you want to learn how much money you can save working with me, on your own personal property, whether you're buying new or already live in your home, then ask me for the link, type home in the comment section, and I will send you my calculator and you can see how much money you could save. So if you already live in a home, put your own home price in there. If you want to get into a home, you're selling a home or you got 20% to put down, then, I can really help you. You gonna love me. Trust me. You gonna love me. You gonna love me because your real estate agent ain't wrong. They just don't know. Right? They just don't know. Because when I was doing real estate for many, many, many years, for well over a decade, I would get people in. Boy, that was like, I was like that girl, right? So I would get people in, but I wasn't able to get them out. And that is a fatal flaw for most real estate agents. It's not their fault. It's just the way that they're taught to get you in. They're not taught to educate you and to make sure you either stay in, and you don't have an exit strategy with most of them. I'm going to teach you an exit strategy because this is what I know. Because I do tax liens, the people who get hit the hardest in tax liens are senior people, right? And the reason they get hit the hardest is because, let's say they were able to pay off their homes when they were younger, but then they run into I don't have any money now that I'm retired. The company that I was with, my 401k ain't covering shit, right? So the strategy that I put together, it helps you on both ends. One, you pay your home off way earlier. You pay less for it, right? Because you do know that you pay double for any property that you get, right? Over the 30 years. You know that? You know if you buy a $500,000 home, you're going to pay $1 million for it? Did you know that? Just in case you didn't, you do, right? So back to what I was saying. So these seniors are in trouble because they don't have any extra resources. So I'm going to teach you how to have your home and your resources and have everything together the way you want. And if you want investment property, you can do that too. But the average person just doesn't have the time nor the energy to do that. But tax liens is a great way to amplify that income. A great way to amplify that income. I can't stress that enough, right? And the third way for you to have guaranteed property is for someone to leave it to you, right? For someone to leave you an asset that's either paid off or extremely high in equity for you to be able to potentially refinance it and get money out. But those are really the only guaranteed ways for you to really capitalize and win in real estate. Tax liens, managing your home ownership in a way that makes you like you rent it instead of just living somewhere rent free, like some people like to say, where you actually utilize your home for more than just living in it. And then the third way is for you to, be left an inheritance. Okay. My best friend just texted me talking about your book is that your book is that. He actually bought my first copy. Oh, I love my friends. Anyway, so type home in the comments and I'll send you the link to grab the book that he just texted me about. I'll tell you, it's so worth it. It's so worth it, you guys. All right. And if you want to learn tax liens, I do have a bundle where you can get the book and the tax lien class for $300. And if y'all rather me say course than book, fine. Y'all know I'm in school for my master's degree, so I'm into my little textbook era. Okay. I'm into my educated smart girl era, and I want you to join me. All right. Love ya. Bye.